Everyone in your outer world is a reflection of you in your inner world and how you feel inside. So whether it's your friends or your family or you go to the grocery store, they can only see in you what you see in you. So we get angry often with people and we get frustrated with the things that they say. But if you really sat and wrote down everything that you were thinking that day, you would realize those are things that you have said. Those are things that you have thought about. And they can only reflect to you how you feel inside. So if we're getting frustrated with people for how they see us, but we're not going and doing the inner work, the mirror work of how we see ourselves, and we're not changing how we see them, often the people that judge us are the ones that we're internally judging. And even if we love these people and we want to be around them, sometimes we push them away through fear because we're afraid that people are ultimately just going to leave in the end. So we will find things to be upset about. But those things that we're upset about in other people are ultimately only shadows to ourselves. And this is so true. There's been studies done on this. Like, this is things that I've personally experienced and tested. And it's so true that we often let our shadows out on the people we trust the most. And so that's why we often pick fights with the people that are closest to us. But why do you think it's them that are irritating us? They're just like us. So when we're irritated with ourselves, we can be irritated with those around us. And on the same opposite spectrum, you might love to be alone. You might feel really at peace by yourself, but you get around people and you're frustrated. You are creating perceptions that they see you a certain way that they may not. And so they may see other people great and get along with other people, and then they see you and you're like, what is it about me that upsets them? It could literally be the light in you that upsets them. It could be your joy, and they wish they were that happy. They wish they were that peaceful. But then you go home and you realize, I'm not that joyful. That I am, but it took a lot to get there. Like, this joy came from darkness and pain and alchemy, and it took a lot of healing to get to this joy and inner peace. And so people might be envious of that, but if they only knew what you went through, they would realize that they're not that different from you and you're not that different from them, and that everyone is on their own journey. Everyone is healing at their own pace. And we are all a lot more similar than we think. We're all closer than we think. That's why we keep attracting the same types of people, because they're on our frequency. So when you start to see yourself differently, see your life differently, feel good about yourself, feel good about your life, you attract people that do feel good about them. But you might be pulled in a new direction around people that need your light. And it's not to say that you're better off than them, but that you have learned how to alchemize the same pain that they have. So internally, you're on the same frequency, and you might think, well, we don't do the same things, we don't have the same interests, like, I would never do things that those people do. True, but we all heal differently, so we all take pain differently. So someone might have gone through the same exact situation, and they choose to shut people out, and they choose to be angry at the world and see the world in a dark place, and they might have habits or addictions that keep them stuck to this belief. And others might have gone through the exact same situation, had the same exact trust issues, experienced the same exact pain in the world, but they alchemize it different. They smile still. They see the world as light because they didn't let those things define them. So it's all in how you alchemize it. It's all in how you use it to heal. It's not to say that someone is better than someone else, because if someone is in a dark place and they can't get out, and you learned to get out, then you have something that they need. You have a skill that they could use. You could help them. You can teach them how to get out. So I see comments sometimes where people are arguing with each other, and it's like, you're really gonna sit there and say that you weren't in that place? Whether it's someone commenting a mean comment or someone commenting, an optimistic comment. They'll both get upset with each other. And I just sit there laughing because, well, sometimes it's sad because the person who's upset is not seeing that that person probably went through the same situations and the same, heavy feelings in this world, and they just learn to alchemize it, and they're choosing not to let it define their life. They're choosing not to waste their life upset and stressed over it and sitting in despair because they alchemized it. And the person who's upset, the person who's happy is like, just smile, just cheer up. And it's like, you were there too. You just learned to alchemize it. You just learned to not let it affect you. You learned to let it go and release it. And although it may sit with you inside and it may feel uncomfortable, you've learned to realize that not everything is personal, that people can treat you the way that they treat themselves. And they can only meet you as far as they've met themselves. So there's no reason to be upset with anyone because it's all us. And when we truly, truly, truly change how we feel about our lives and we're really at a state of inner peace, no one can shake that inner peace. We can't blame anyone for making us upset because they're just pointing out the shadows that we still haven't noticed. You don't have to keep healing, you don't have to keep sitting, and you don't have to do all this shadow work, but you can choose to realize, oh, that was a part of my old self. I used to believe that and I don't anymore. And that is making a decision to respond instead of react. And the more you respond with love, the more you will be met with situations with love, the more people you will be met with love. So I'm sure you're all going to comment and say your opinions, and that's fine. But I hope you really do sit with this message because you will